Good morning, dear friends. Sorry I'm late. All kinds of things are happening here. And I wanted to be sure to get to you. In fact, I was so wanting to get through to you that yesterday, I thought was Thursday, and I did a video. So you can check out yesterday's video and get an extra one this week. But we're live, and I'm sorry I'm late. I just had my neighbor, who's been my handyman, God bless him, and he hung up the rose rug that I had created uh, quite a while ago. And it's so beautiful. I didn't want it on the floor. And so when I moved the TV, I was able to put up this rug. I kind of wish I could take you and let you see it. I haven't figured out quite how to do that. Let's see if I move over like this a little bit more. Then you can see the angels behind me. I do have plenty of angels in my house. And of course, this is one of the reasons why people call it Angel House. And again, I've got two beautiful mosaics in the back of the Archangel Raphael and the Archangel Gabriel, one in green, one in blue. That's how you tell them apart for me. And I'm going to eventually have those put around the front so that there will be three mosaics of angels out front. Maybe someday I'll figure out how to probably just take my phone and take pictures and bring them to you so you can see how I've been inspired. And truly, all of the credit goes to God. God is this wonderful energy of love and creativity and happiness. And when you let go of all your fears and doubts and beliefs that of the negative and of the dark energy that can surround you, if you have a problem with bipolar, like you're happy one moment and you're sad the next, then you are on a roller coaster ride. And yet, even that is given to you in love, because that's what we're talking about today, love. There's all kinds of love. And you love your animals, right? I don't have any animals because I have enough to take care of old Betty Ray. I have to take care of any animal. So I hope that there's somebody that was able to come back again and check on me, because we are live and you can send in an email, or excuse me, you can just type in a question and I will answer it, or at least I will ask Raphael to answer it, because I certainly don't have the answers. And that's something that we're talking about today, answers. We all want love. Truly, we want to be loved, and we want to know what that compassion is, that we can be accepted for who we are, that we can learn to be true to who we are, figure out who we are, and be true to that, and that we don't have to live up to other people's expectations. Now, Raphael says that expectations are the death of a relationship. Wow, think about it. If somebody puts a whole bunch of expectations on you and you feel so burdened, after a while, you're just going to take that yoke off your shoulders and throw it away. And that'll be the end of the relationship, because really, that's what happened with my first marriage. I was supposed to make him happy. And no matter how hard I tried, he was never happy. And so eventually I said, okay, I give up. And I just ended the relationship. And oh my, when I was by myself in my own apartment after that, I danced around the place. I loved being alone. I loved not having somebody yell at me every 15 minutes that I didn't do this, or I should have done that, or how come I did that stupid thing. Anger is a terrible negative energy, dark energy. And when somebody is angry all of the time, it can kill the relationship. So watch out for that. If you think you have to use anger to control your life, you are sadly mistaken. Anger will only drive people away and bring more anger in your life, because somebody's going to sock you in the nose eventually. That's what happens. Oh, dear souls. Raphael is so full of joy, as all of the archangels are, because when they're in the God energy, there's only love. There's only peace. There's only harmony. And that's what we all want, right? That's what we all want. And so, dear friends, do not allow dark energy to rule your life. Give love to everyone and everything on the planet. Yes, even the people you think are nuts or are bad, you label them bad. Yes, we do need to love everyone and everything because it's all God in manifestation. I know that's hard to understand, but again, when you think about everything is vibrating energy. And if everything is vibrating energy, then we are all God because God is the source of all that energy. Now, I know that's a quantum leap, and in fact, it is quantum physics, but it's true. We are all one. That's where the oneness comes in. You know, I'm a vibrating being. That beautiful stained glass back there is vibrating energy. And with my design, which was that size in cloth, that I gave to a stained glass artist, and he had me pick out the colors and created that beautiful, beautiful stained glass over there. Now, where did the idea come from for the first angel? Into my head to be an advertisement for a Whole Life Expo where I was giving readings and I was giving lectures on angels. Where did the idea come from the beginning? From God. All things begin with God. And yes, what is it sitting in front of a window? I'm not outside. Actually, this was an outside porch at one time that was added on to this house. And then the next person came along and closed it in. Yay! Because now it's my office. And outside this door over here is going to be a screen room coming tomorrow or Monday. Yay! This is something I've been saving for because here in Florida, even though it's been really cold, it's back up into the, I think, 70s or something. It's wonderful. I love Florida. And it is just, again, something that I visualized a long time ago. And when I finally sold my house in Michigan, I said, I'm going to move to Florida. And my daughter talked me out of it. She said, Mom, you're getting older. You need to be close to family. So she talked me into moving to Bowie, Maryland. Well, I never saw my family. They were always so busy as a close-knit family, going on bicycle trips every year for 20 years with a group of 20 people. They had their life, and I wasn't a part of it for so many years that it was hard for them to incorporate me. In fact, they hardly ever thought about me. And I felt like the lone duck. So eventually, when I went to visit some friends in Florida, I ended up buying a trailer in a lovely mobile home park and moved here. Finally, I followed God's design for my life. I let somebody else talk me into doing what they thought was best for me. And that's where you have to be true to yourself and listen to God's plan for your life, not somebody else's plan for your life. That's called love, true love of self. It is not selfishness. And oh my, I counsel so many people who have given up their lives for somebody else to follow what that person needs of them and totally ignoring their soul's plan for the life, totally ignoring their own joy. Can you imagine what that would be like if you were actually not following your own plan? You would feel lonely. You will feel as though you haven't accomplished anything. You would feel just uncomfortable. And so, dear friends, love oneself is not being selfish. You have a soul that has a story to tell. And if you are not listening to that soul, then you're not telling your story that God created you to do here on planet Earth. And that's why it's so important that you know the difference between selfishness and honesty in self-love. That's why we've come today. And I hope there's somebody that caught up with us, even though we were a bit late getting started here. And catch my video from yesterday because I thought yesterday was today. When you're retired for over 30 years, like I've been, there is no time factor in your life. One day just sort of melts into the other. And it's not senility, it's just plain being retired. And anybody who goes from busy, 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 follow the clock time to no time, whoa, it's so easy to get lost, to not know what day it is, to not know what time it is. And it hasn't anything to do with senility, it simply has to do with you're finally in a no time warp and you don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of people, especially men, when they retire from a very scheduled, active life and then have nothing to do, no schedule to follow, a lot of people die. This is what my second husband, Joe, he was an industrial pipe fitter. And he said so many of the pipe fitters, when they retired, they didn't live very long because they didn't feel that they had anything to contribute and they just felt lost and they gave up on life. And so they died or they took on some illness. So, but there's always a divine plan for the time that we are here, and that comes from the source of all love, that is God. God holds no judgment for you, dear friends. Don't judge yourself. If you have committed an error or harmed somebody with ridicule or unkindness or anger, then go and ask forgiveness. But if somebody is mad at you and you didn't anything wrong, you had no intent to cause harm to that person, then you have no guilt. That's called false guilt. If you say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know," yeah, you feel bad that this person is upset because, but they're blaming their discomfort on you instead of understanding that you had no intent to do harm. Now, sometimes this misunderstanding happens because your angels decided that your divine plan no longer included that person. That person was maybe too negative, or you have decided to follow the spiritual path and have been studying spirituality, and your friend is the least bit interested in it, and in fact gets angry with you when you start talking spiritual stuff. Then it's time to end the relationship. I don't care how long they've been in your life. It's just time to let them go their own way. Yes, I have a friend that when she moved, she left all of her friends behind, didn't even tell them where she was, when she was going, or how to get in contact with them because she knew she had outgrown them. And good applause for her. She knew these souls were not on the same track that she was. She wanted to move on spiritually. Excuse me. And so she did. She moved on and she has had such a good life. She's so creative. Your creativity comes from God, and creativity is not necessarily artwork. It's how to solve a problem, how to decorate your house, what you're going to wear one day and put stuff together. Like today, it's winter in Florida. I've got my little turtleneck on, although it's warmed up, but we've had some cold weather. And I want to go outside and walk the labyrinth. And I know I'll probably need a jacket, but it's supposed to be warmer. And when you begin to understand that you can listen and hear the voice of God within you, and sometimes if you're not sure, you can ask for, if it's something, a decision you have to make, you can ask for clarification, ask for a sign. All right, here's an example that pops in my mind, so I'll share it with you. I was contemplating divorce in my first marriage, and I prayed and I asked for a sign. And eventually we went to counseling. And then eventually we had to go to separate counselors because it was just not working out. So the counselor that I was going to was a woman. And she said, "Betty Ray, the only problem is you don't know you have a choice. You can choose to stay with that husband and put up with his unkindness, let's say it nicely. Or you can choose to just have a separation. Or you can choose to divorce." And she said, most people that go through the first and the second end up with the third. And that's exactly what happened. But I wasn't ready to make a choice. I prayed and prayed and prayed. I went into church and I would sit there and the tears would roll down my face as I would ask God, what is for my husband's highest and greatest good as well as mine. Well, I heard the voice of my counselor. You have a choice. And one day I'm driving along the highway, and here is this big billboard with the word choose. when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't think I could get any better of an answer to my question. So I decided to choose to separate and to end the relationship. It was the best thing for me because I was growing spiritually. And when I say that, I was finding all kinds of new spiritual ideas, new ways of looking at life. I was studying and reading every book that I could get a hold of, every wise guru. And I was just so excited. And I didn't have anybody to share it with till I found another church that I could go to. And it was a unity church. And I do recommend, if you're looking for a church that's metaphysical, meaning that it is more on a spiritual plane than on a physical plane, then I recommend the Unity Church. It was a good transition for me. And so that again, he thought it was Unity is a church that has been around for ages and ages, and it's all over the world. And yet, my husband thought it was a cult. And he was telling my sons, oh, she's in this cult now, and she's into astrology, and she's into this and into that. He was telling them how he thought I was going crazy. And they began to doubt my sanity. My boys did. My sons were worried about me. My daughter, who was also beginning to open up in metaphysics, she had a better idea. And so she didn't worry about my sanity, but my sons did because of the doubt that my husband put in their minds. It was not an easy, smooth road to separation. But eventually, as you can see, I'm a happy 86-year-old woman, and I am delighted that I made that choice. There we are, back again. There is a choice for you every day. What time you're going to get up, what you're going to eat for breakfast, what you're going to wear, what you're going to do, who you're going to meet, how you're going to react to that person that you're meeting. If they say something that angers you, how are you going to react to the anger? Are you going to yell and scream and stomp and have a fit? Or are you going to try to get clarity and understand where the person is coming from, because they obviously didn't intend to make you angry or to upset you? And when you can let go of the fear that you're not going to be understood, the fear that you're not going to be loved unconditionally. And believe me, it's a difficult thing for people to achieve. It means that you have a raised consciousness out of fear, anxiety, and the darkness of the planet that drags you into that. When you are happy, you know that you are filled with divine energy. And you say, it's impossible to be happy all the time. And you're right. It is impossible to be happy all the time because you're in this push me, pull me of positive, negative energy. And you make mistakes like thinking yesterday was today. And so yesterday I did the video. Wondered why nobody was here. But I hope that you know this is a live chat and that I will try to be here every Wednesday. But I'm also going to share with you that my Tuesday radio show is also going to be a video show, hopefully starting next Tuesday. But I haven't taken care of studying what it is I'm supposed to know how to make that happen. And so in due course, I've got so many things going on in my own personal life that I don't always follow up on the ideas I get for my spiritual life. And that includes you, my friends, because we are all spiritual beings. We all have a spirit within us. And that spirit is a duplicate of us, so that when we sleep at night, it rises out of our body and it just is free to go take a break. And that's the reason why we all have to sleep. We all need to take a break. We all need to give our soul and our spirit a break. And so during that time when our physical body is sound asleep, is when God charges up our batteries called chakras. Those batteries are violet, indigo, because this is where they're placed, light blue, heart center is green, and it's not in the heart, it's just in the chest area. And then, I don't know if I can do this, I'll stand up. And the green is here in the heart. The orange is here just above the waist, or excuse me, the yellow. That is your emotional center. That's why we feel things in our gut. And then down below is the orange. And then at the base of the spine is red. These these are our batteries. And this is why everybody has to sleep. I've said this before, but it bears repeating. Our batteries, those chakras, are how God charges us up every night so we can have the energy to go again the next day. I sometimes feel like I'm a wind-up toy for God. But that is not just me. It's every human being, every animal, and every bird. Anything that is any animal and any human being has these batteries. And that's why everybody has to sleep, even birds. Animals, they all have to sleep. And so this is the reason why God created sleep, to free our spirit to go flying off into the atmosphere every night and just feel free. And then, wow, we feel great in the morning if we got a good night's sleep. Now, for insomniacs like me, I don't need much more sleep than maybe 4 or 5 hours. And again, then I don't take naps during the day. At least I avoid it if I can. But they say old people don't need as much sleep. I don't know that that's true. It depends on your own personal physical makeup and your purpose in life. And so each soul has a story to tell. You have a soul, and your soul is telling your story every waking and sleeping hour that you are on this planet. Your body is like a spacesuit to make you able to breathe and live on planet Earth. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? But that's what you are. You are God in manifestation. You are God in a physical body, in a physical planet. That's manifested. That's something solid. I can touch this computer and make noises with it. You are a divine being of light, dear friends. Allow that light to shine. Oh, there's so many religious songs that talk about let your light shine. That is what it's all about. Don't let the dark energy that we spoke about yesterday, don't let that dominate your life. Don't let anger consume you. Don't let anxiety and fear take over your life. And this is what's happened in the world today. There are so many angry people, so many people afraid that their personal needs won't be met. That this is what's caused all of the horrific things that have happened in the world. Angry at one person or one group or another and retaliating. And for when there are these riots in the street and they break windows and steal things, that's not at all called for. That shows a person of lower consciousness, a person who hasn't been a soul on this planet very long. They don't understand that their soul is learning the laws of life. That's why God doesn't judge them, because they know if you have a little toddler in the house and it picks up something on the floor and puts it in its mouth, you're not going to condemn that child to jail. No, you're just going to try and save it from itself if you are in charge of it. If you're not, you got to mind your own business. And oftentimes Raphael compares our life, our story, to be on Earth's stage. As Shakespeare said a long time ago, all of life is a stage and we are actors upon it. And it's true. We come to planet Earth, we design our leading lady. I'm my soul's leading lady, and I'm on Earth's stage now. I'm the star of my show. I get to choose that I can think yesterday was Thursday and do a video then and wonder why nobody's there. And yet nobody's here today. So maybe because I started late, who knows? Now, in spite of all of that, I have learned that with my radio show, believe it or not, I still have trouble believing it. I have 11,000 listeners. 11,000. It was like, whoa. And that is what we're trying to do with our videos. So please listen to iHeartRadio. You can get any of my radio shows on there. They're all past. They're there. And it's iHeartRadio, Ask Raphael and Betty Ray. And you will find us there. And you can listen to it with your earphones while you're walking around the block each day and getting your exercise outside. But make sure you carry your mask, because if you run into somebody, you want to cover your face. And at least on this video, I don't have to cover my face. I can talk to you and not worry about spreading any kind of germs that I might have. Fortunately, I'm very healthy. And in fact, I've had a bit of vertigo, can't even say it. And I called my healthcare provider, who is an intuitive healer. And I called her and I said, what's going on? I have this vertigo. I try and get up in the morning and I am so busy, I have to fall back down. And she said, you're dehydrated. And I said, I drink lots of water. She says, but you have very low sodium to absorb that water and make it so you can hydrate. I said, oh, what do I do about it? She said, you take sea salt and take a pinch of sea salt and put it on your tongue, and then take 3 to 4 ounces of water every 15 minutes for an hour. Every 15 minutes for an hour if you have vertigo. I wished I had known this cure before, because my husband, who is now deceased, my first husband, who's now deceased, he had terrible vertigo, could hardly get out of bed. And I understand it now, because when I get up in the morning, the whole world swirls and I fall back down in the bed until eventually I get up slowly and I'm okay. I don't have it during the day, thank you, God, but it's a pain in the butt. And then I find out Jimmy Kimmel has a problem with vertigo. So Jimmy Kimmel, if you're hearing me, try this sea salt, a dab of sea salt on your tongue, washed down with 3 ounces of water for every 15 minutes for an hour, and then wait an hour and do it again. And do it for 3 days. And even though I'm still on that prescription because I haven't followed it exactly myself, I am much better. I don't have any vertigo during the day. It's just when I first get up in the morning. So it is much better. So, you know, there's all kinds of healers. And there's psychic healers. There's spiritual healers. There are doctors and people of medicine that have studied for ages. And yes, are healers. Whoever you are inspired to go to, that's the person you are to connect with in this moment in time. And that's why nobody should tell you who you need to go to. Nobody should try to tell you one thing or another. I'm going to change this view just a bit. Move this over like this. Bear with me. And I'm going to scoot over here because I think this picture behind me is especially beautiful. Oh, and that reminds me, I wanted to show you one of my hooked pieces. And I'm going to have to stand back and turn it right side up so that you can see it. There we go. I don't know if you can see it because it's faded now, but this is a little angel. Let me come closer so you can see it closer. This is a little angel, and there's a light of God shining on this little angel. And when I was getting ready to hook it, I started with the face and worked down. I kept hearing skateboard. Skateboard? Are you kidding? This is a spiritual thing. And I kept hearing skateboard. So I had to add a skateboard because the story is this little angel was tooling around the universe on a skateboard, and God called her or him. There's no he or him in angels. And so this is got just some silver stuff that made the stars. And the rest of it is 100% wool cloth that is hand dyed. And so I wanted to share that with you because I took it down today and put up a rug on my wall, a beautiful white background rug with a great big blue rose. One of these days, I will take more pictures of it and share it with you now that I'm learning how to do this. And so the angel behind me and the angel behind me here, I'll kind of move over so you can see them. This is being called Angel House. My house now has mosaic angels outside. I said already, of Raphael and Gabriel. And there's a big angel in front that is 3 feet by 5 feet. And it's called the Angel of Energy because it has 7 spirals. And when I was inspired to do it, again, my mosaics are made up of just broken dishes and mirrors. And then as I progressed with it, I used stained glass. And so I would break them up and make them in little triangles and put them together. And they really became quite beautiful. So I will be sharing those with you. And I'll be taking a walk and taking pictures of what's in my new meditation center. That's what we're calling it. So if you're in Florida and you'd like to come visit it, when it is officially open, we will let you know. But we're not giving out the address or my phone number, only my email address, which is angelbettyray@gmail.com. And again, angelbettyray@gmail.com, if you'd like a private consultation with Raphael, all you do is email us and we will give you the time that we are available and you can have a free angel reading with Raphael. Now, people cannot believe it's free, but I tell you, I'm 86 years old, and I am so grateful for all the gifts that have been given to me that I'm giving back. You know that movie, Pay It Forward? Yeah, Pay It Forward. Play it forward? No, Pay It Forward. Well, I'm paying it forward. I'm giving back all the blessings that have been given to me throughout my life. Even the fact that people say I don't look 86 years old. I've been blessed with good genes, I guess, but also this is because I guess they want me around a while longer. So don't hesitate to email us angelbettyray@gmail.com and get a private consultation. Now, do spread the word. Do tell people about this video. Do tell people about our work with Raphael. And do subscribe to this channel. That we are, I think there's a place where you can subscribe so that you'll get a bell ring and you'll know when we are ready to do a video. Because we do more than one. We don't just do it on Thursday mornings. We do more than one. And it's no specific time, although I've gone, well, I didn't start right, did I? It was after 11. So we try not to go any more than half an hour. So today was supposed to be about love. Love yourself unconditionally without being selfish. Love your neighbor as yourself without being judgmental. Love your family as you love God, and you will know that that love will come back to you 100-fold. For when you are loving and compassionate to others, even though they may not know how to return it to you, you will find it in another day, another time, from another person. And you will wonder why they're so good to you. It's because it's coming back. The love that you have in your heart, when you share it with others in just a smile, and even if you're wearing a mask, when you smile, your eyes smile. And they will know you're greeting them. Greet everybody with a smile, even if you're wearing a mask. And do wear a mask. We're not through this pandemic, and Raphael says it's going to be at least until next summer before we're through with that. The virus or the vaccine is not going to be readily available to everybody. And healthcare workers and the people that are trying to help us, they're the ones that should get it first. They say the seniors should get it, but I'll pass on it and give it to somebody that needs it. I know that I do everything that I'm supposed to do. I wear a mask. I stay social distancing, but I do go to Walmart's and to my favorite grocery store and do what I have to do. I do just keep my distance. And if somebody comes too close, I just simply turn my back on them as they walk by. Because it's the when they're speaking, the spittle from your voice. And you could see it if you had a magnifying glass, that You feel that moisture in your mouth, the spit in your mouth. And when you're talking, or if you laugh, or if you cough, phew, all of that goes out. And if you have the virus, somebody's going to catch that little bit of droplet from your mouth and get it too. So, not just to protect yourself from somebody who might have the virus, but if you're carrying the virus and don't even have any symptoms, which people are doing, you won't be giving it to somebody else. Be kind and be compassionate to your fellow human beings. And that's love. That's love for even the people who are not nice to you. Unconditional love is what God has for you. And we are every day trying to practice that kind of love. If somebody is unkind to you, don't get angry. Don't bark back at them. Instead, walk away. And if that angers them, then stand and look at them with love and compassion in your eyes, but don't smile because that'll anger them. Love and compassion in your eyes and just let them rant and rave, but don't respond. There's so many angry people in the world. And the white supremacist movement are angry, angry people. They don't feel that they are good enough. And so they make themselves supreme supremacist because they don't really believe they're good enough. They are young souls that have to force others to their way of thinking for them to be the king of the mountain. They are just young, inexperienced souls. You don't condemn them. You're patient with them. And if they break the laws, you put them in jail because that's how we work. We don't allow people to run rampant over us. But, don't go to a lawyer and try to sue somebody because they harmed you in some way. If you can't bring them to justice through the justice system, let it go. You're only harming yourself by dwelling in that negative energy. But if something happens, as I know with a friend of mine who got hurt, and she had so many doctor bills, she didn't have the income to pay for it. She did have insurance, but it was still so much out of pocket that it was bleeding her dry financially. So she did have to get a lawyer and sue the company to pay for her bills and to reimburse her for all of the damage that was done because of their neglect. And it was because of their neglect. So I am wishing her well, and I'm wishing her the money to fall out of the sky and to make her so that she doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. I think that is pure justice. And she has worked in pain for such a long time because of the neglect that caused well, I won't go any further. It's her business, and I don't want to be sharing it. So we're going to turn this up just a bit. So, dear friends, I'm going to end this for today and talk to you about love one more time. Love yourself unconditionally. Let go of self-doubt and self-deprecation. That means putting yourself down every time you think you've goofed up. That's false pride and false humility. Know that in the moment when you do, I got to take my arms off. In the moment when you do only the best that you can do, there is no judgment up here. Your intent is to do good. It's the intent that counts because that's where love comes from. If your intent is to be a loving, kind individual and you lose your temper at somebody, believe me, it's because they needed you to lose their temper, your temper, so that they could see that you did not like the way they were responding to you. And if it means ending the relationship, even if it's a friend you've had for years and years, then walk away because you are growing spiritually and perhaps they are not. That's a judgment if you make it, but you can tell. If you can't talk to them about what you've learned spiritually, if you can't recommend this channel to them, if you can't talk to them about your raising consciousness, then you have gone beyond that friendship and it's okay to let it go. And so that's pure love because for you to stay in that relationship would mean that you have to be less than you are. When you grow spiritually and let go of all of the negativity and the negative thoughts and the anger and the frustration and the belief that other people are out to do you harm. When you can let go of all of that and know that you are truly in charge of your life with every thought you allow to enter your head. Now, thoughts can go in and go out just, but that doesn't mean that you have to let any of them stick in here and determine how you're going to feel in that moment. It's all about emotions, people. You choose what barometer of what part of that scale of emotions you're going to be on. Are you going to be down in the angry part where you want to lash out at everybody because you feel that you've been wronged and you need to speak up and do what's right? And what a heavy burden that is. And instead, you choose to smile and walk away. And again, be careful, because if you choose to smile at somebody, they're going to think you're putting them down. So just turn and walk away. Although I do remember one time my husband was accusing me of something that I definitely had no intention of feeling or acting out. And I just barked right back at him. I barked right back at him, and I stuck my finger in him, and I walked him right back up against a wall. And then I burst out laughing. And the tension just dissolved. And I turned and walked away, and I said, "Oh, you're not worth all this energy." I just walked away. And eventually, I divorced him. You are in charge of your life, dear friends. That's self-love. And it's not indulgence. Because if you're spending more money than you have, if you're shopping when you should be staying home out of the fray of this pandemic, you are not loving yourself. You're putting yourself and others in danger, and you're being self-indulgent. If you go on TV and you go to some kind of place where you can order stuff and you're spending money you don't have, that's self-indulgence. That's not self-love. Self-love means that you listen to your divine guidance that comes from your angel. And it's been knocking on your door ever since you were born. Learn to listen and learn to love in the way God intends you to love. And you will be happy. You will know what a true smile is. You will know what true love is. So today, beginning today, make this a day that is the first day of the rest of your life, and smile. And God bless you, because I think we're done for now. This is a day of love for you. Love everyone and everything that comes into your life, even if it is something that you didn't ask for and it isn't good. Love it away. Exactly. Love it away. Turn it into an experience that was worth having. God bless each of you. Come back again next Thursday, 11 o'clock, and hang around just in case I'm not there right away. At my age, I have no sense of time anymore. I think it's part of because of the work I do. I have one foot up there with Raphael and one foot planted down here, and sometimes it's a little wobbly. So be patient with me. Come back again next Thursday, and please bring somebody to talk to us. Ask us some questions. And again, don't hesitate to email us for a private consultation, angelbettyray@gmail.com. We love you. Please take care of yourself and your loved ones and come back again. Bye now.